All right. What's going? We want to welcome y'all back to the show. This your boy Yusef, 2 times Yusef Hood Film CEO, and I'm just basically hollering at y'all again. I want to give an update on that mother and son from Chicago that killed the guy in that store. It's like a viral video, and I just want to talk about it. First, it was a horrible crime that happened, and it's just really hard that happened, and everybody had to see that. It's really sad that played out the way it did. But it looked like just an hour ago, or a little under an hour, all the locations are posting that Yahoo News, NBC Chicago News is posting that the prosecutor dropped the charges against the Chicago mom and her 14-year-old son. So that's like, whoa, she dropped the charges. What the hell? The prosecutor, the boy died, the guy died, but the mother lawyers dropped the charges. It's crazy to know that. But I definitely could understand why. Because the guy was basically aggressive towards the female. He started punching her. If you see the video, he even tells her, "I'm about to hit you in your face if you keep talking." And he actually does hit her dead in the face 2 or 3 times. And the kid is standing not too far from that. And he actually just watches his mother get punched in the face. But just like anybody, if you had a gun in your hand and somebody was punching your mother in the face, it's not a question what anybody would do. It don't matter if that guy ran. It don't matter if that guy thought he was in the right. It don't matter. If you hit my mother in the face, God bless you if I got a gun in my hand, because it's definitely going to pop towards you. That's no question. And I'm a grown man, so what about a child? Let's read Yahoo. It said murder charges against the mother and her 14-year-old son in connection with a shooting at a Chicago restaurant have been dropped on Monday today, June 26th. The Cook County State's Office, Kim Fox, said that the charges against Carlisha Hood and her son have been dropped following a review of the case. In light of the emerging evidence, the charges against the two in connection with the June 18th shooting have been dismissed, police confirmed. Based on facts, evidence, and the law, we are unable to meet our burden of proving the prosecution of these cases, reads the statement. The 35-year-old mother was booked following the fatal shooting of 32-year-old Jeremy Brown. Rest in peace to the guy. Her got into an argument waiting in line at a restaurant. She texted her son to come inside. At that point, that argument turned physical when Brown allegedly punched Hood in the face. Her son withdrew the firearm and shot him in the back. And it's really sad that guy had to lose his life, but it's really a testament into anger. First of all, a female should not be arguing with a man. That's just how that should go. Now, in the real world, it happens all the time. But she being a female should be thinking of her safety and saying, this is a stranger. I don't probably need to be arguing with this guy being a stranger. I'm going to let him be. I'm going to leave him alone and just go on about my business. But she decided to go ahead and be a part of that argument and step up her notch and be, you could almost say, ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Where she was kind of jumping in the guy's face. And I just don't think that was right. I think that anybody that want to be alive and don't want to get hurt by a stranger should just kind of walk away. I know you might feel like a punk or weak, but you're a female, so you shouldn't feel none of those things. You should just get away from that environment because it's violent. It could turn even worse. And then what about your kid? Could you imagine a little kid like that sitting in a fucking jail area or prison or wherever jail is? He's sitting in there because all of a sudden they said he committed this crime. And by all witnesses' accounts, he did shoot the gun. But he only did it at the request of his mother. So we see that the boy is going to actually get away with this situation, but he's going to be traumatized mentally for the rest of his life because of something so tragic could happen before his eyes, and he actually was the perpetrator. So it's going to be something for him to actually try to get over as a person, as a human, because it's really sad. And that guy should have held his anger. Here we are, 1 week away from Juneteenth, and we murdering less than a week technically, but right on the date actually, a week. And it's just this craziness in the world. But you can't stop craziness. You can't be afraid of it. You can't be worried that it's gonna happen again and all this stuff. It's just a part of life. You just got to get on with the living and keep going. That was a tragic situation. The prosecutor, I think she made the right decision, only because that family went there to go get food, not be caught up in some gangsterism. Eddie should teach that brother to stay away from those environments. You go into the grimiest spots to get food. If you got a car, you should probably be driving somewhere different or further away, so you don't have to subject your stuff to the city or the neighborhood or the streets or just the way things go in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So if you think you're going to be arguing with somebody could get at you and don't have to care about what their repercussions are going to be. Like that guy punched in the face. I don't think he gave a fuck about, is she going to shoot me? Is she going to kill me? But she said to somebody on the phone, well, which we know it's her kid now, text him to bring her gun in there. And so that's what got the guy heated. He saw that and he was like, what? Hit this bro in the face, and he punched in the grill. And it was like, oh shit, bro, what the fuck are you doing? But he did what he was gonna do. So, you know, you hope that that'll help these people live a better life, that they free and stop getting into issues. And I don't think they're gonna ever get a lady a gun again. And she probably need a husband or a boyfriend to call to her rescue, not a 14-year-old child. He's not a man. He's not even a man. But now he done did a murder. And how many men can say that they did a murder at a teenager? You know, there's a bunch of rappers who probably claim that just because, you know, that's like the fun thing to do in their rhymes. But I mean, you know, in real life, it's probably not too many 14-year-olds that's in America that's murdering somebody and getting away with it, even if they get found out or not found out. Just to have that stuff on your mind that you had to kill somebody, it's gonna be something to reckon with. That boy gonna need therapy all the way up to his 40s because he literally did a murder, and your brain always keep growing, and the thoughts that you have always keep reverberating. It's not like they just go away. You might forget it. It might go in a little pocket in your mind, and then all of a sudden, here it come again, and you're like, oh shit, this time you might have been drinking. You might have been in a party. You might have went through a work breakup, or you might have had to leave home or move to another environment in the city. The stress of that, then the stress of your memories from tough times or tough environments or tough situations. And then imagine this. They not even finna get money. They literally just finna get out of jail and have to go back to their life of making money. The kid got to try to go to high school. The mother got to try to figure out how to continue to make money. Hopefully people are doing GoFundMe for them, because that's going to be mentally tragic. You talking about PTSD. And that's just not to say that those people, but anybody who is facing violence will deal with that. I understand it, because when I was a kid, my father was a little violent. Not a little, he was extreme. But he was in the house, but he was extremely violent. So we did have a dad growing up, but it was extremely tough because he was extremely tough. And he didn't understand how tough he was to us until we had to become grown-ups and then kind of tell him, like, it almost seemed like you had a mental case because you couldn't understand and be able to be more relaxed and more reserved. He was over the top of his brutality. So you don't chase those kind of things when you get a certain age. If you can make it out, then you ain't doing that shit again. You know what I'm saying? If you can make it away from that, then you're not going to try to make that happen to you again. And anybody that even, from a job to a friendship, that try to bring those kind of memories out of you or bring that up, whether you're feeling like it's something kind of like from your past, you're going to kill those relationships instantly and never go back around to people again, because it's bringing back memories that can trigger you. And, you know, those people would never even know why you triggered. They just be thinking like, hey, we was arguing about LeBron James and Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? But you don't know what it could trigger you. That's why you need that help. You need that mental juggler, somebody with some professional work too. You know, God blessed me to meet somebody, and my wife, who I could talk to. She was open for conversations like that. She was open to help me heal and just talk about it, which allowed me to get over my past and grow up and forgive my father and move on with my life. But, you know, when you talk about this scenario, the way those people are going to go home and just go back to their normal life, it probably is going to be hard for them to adjust. You know, people are going to probably come to their, and loved ones going to probably come to their side. But you got the family members of that deceased person that is actually going to probably be most hurt from this. But when confrontations arise, cooler heads need to prevail. You just dip away from it. Try to. Everything you can't dip away from. Everything you can't run from. Everything you can't just say, you know what? I'm not going to let this affect me. Everything's not like that. You know what I'm saying? But if you can, if God bless you to make a move where you can move away from something and stop, that'll be the best move. But none of us got all the answers. We all got to go through the process. That lady being 35, she's pretty young. Meaning that she's still in an environment mentally where you might want to get in somebody's face. But look how young the kid is. When people start teasing him, because he's going to be teased. Being a teenager, he's about to start high school. So no matter what school he go to, everybody going to know his name when he pop in there. Luckily, he beat this, because you can imagine sitting in the jail at that age. He's just a little kid playing video games. So it's good for them that they made it out. That's a family that's going to stay together. And they're going to work through it. But it's a movie that I wish I would have wrote. Even though it's a real story. I wish it was a movie that I wrote and it wasn't real. But because the impact of what happened that day is it's just going to be real big, and it's going to people going to remember that story. You know what I'm saying? So, and I hope those people can heal and get better. Because life is very short, and the last thing you want is horrible memories from something that you can't control. You know, even people, like, couldn't nobody control that guy when he was blowing up inside the store. He would have had somebody from his family to go in there and tell him, yo, you got to chill. But him not knowing nobody in the store and his anger boiling over, he couldn't calm down. You know what I'm saying? So that's really the key. The key is your emotions. You know, but everybody don't have control of their emotions, especially random strangers on the street. Like, how you gonna know the random people on the street? You know what I'm saying? If that they're gonna have the right mentality or the right mindset. Like, you could never know. So, you know what I'm saying? Try to be careful out there. But y'all definitely got to let me know in the comments, or, you know, let me know in the response what you think about these people being let out, the little boy being let out of juvenile, because he probably would have had to spend the rest of his years to his 20s in juvenile jail, and the mother would have probably spent 25, 30 years or more, or more in jail for murder, or even in inciting a kid. But somehow Kim Fox, being a female, she understood it. She understood what was going on and saw a better situation for the people who was involved, the people who survived, the black woman and the kid. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a part of life, man. You got to be careful out there, because, you know, you never know who you're going to run into. I'm out there all the time amongst the people, and everybody got their own attitude or going through their whatever. And when you run across them, they could definitely bring you that. I mean, it's not, nobody's separated from running into somebody that's got a bad day or a bad issue. You know what I'm saying? But that was just what that was. Two people that had anger issues ran into each other. And then that collision turned into a murder. You know what I'm saying? Because the woman was riding around with a gun. And the guy probably had access to a gun, but just wasn't rocking like that at that point. So, you know, he died not having his. And then the kid shot him in the back. Don't know how that kid was such a good shot. But when you think about somebody messing with your mother, it's going to attack different adrenalines and make you respond a certain kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Because you actually, that's your mom. So it's like somebody's trying to hurt your mother. You ain't going to sit around and be like, oh, it's cool. Well, she was talking. You can hold on. Wait. Especially a kid. He don't have nothing but that gun. Because it's not like he could physically beat a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Or the woman. The woman couldn't even beat the man. You know, they had a lot of craziness coming out from the story talking about the woman tried to snatch the gun from the kid and said, kill the witnesses, but the kid kept the gun and held it back from her. But that's hearsay. That's not no way of knowing if that was true, because the audio was recorded, but they didn't play it full that I heard. So that was just people maybe on the scene saying that, or just not knowing. But don't look like none of those rumors affected Kim Fox and them not even getting him a bond, because they said it was a $3 million bond. So nobody gonna be able to pull up no $300,000 to walk home, even though you want to go home. So that means you'll be sitting in jail until you get done. Well, period. Jail will be your new home. Because as soon as you get out of jail, they're going to send you to prison. So it's just one of those things, man. So, I appreciate y'all listening, and I want y'all to get back at me about what y'all think about this scenario with that family. And we're going to talk about it. This your boy Hood. You sell 2 times. Thanks for listening. Peace.